What was important and motivating for me was to do this work long term. I wanted to build on my own understanding of what was working and what was missing in our development context. Many initiatives started with enthusiasm but died after one or two iterations without enough time and momentum to accumulate the lessons learned and grow. Or they would depend on outside resources and decisions, not feeling that they have the capacity to do this with their own resources. I really, truly wanted to see what is possible if you invest long term in my field of work, which was about building philanthropic resources and infrastructure. Another motivation for me was trying to prove that some of the things that everybody thought could not work were in fact possible to put in practice in my own country if I gave them enough thinking, resources, and energy. For instance, people thought that fundraising was not something that would work easily in local communities. Most of the emphasis at that stage was on finding big resources, which usually were outside the communities, which in turn tended to overlook their own assets. What I saw in society was that there was a lot of reliance on others, not on our own as individuals and as communities. We would expect change to come from somewhere else. I saw that it was possible through the community foundation idea to shift this expectation into one where communities were taking responsibility for themselves and to build a system through which people can actually find resources for their work and results nearby. I bring these examples of personal motivation because they are linked to where I was at that stage in my career. At the time that we started the Community Foundations program, I had recently finished a postgraduate on social development practice and was really motivated to see things happening differently. To try out an approach that is based on listening, understanding, and building resources for the long term. I also think that a lot of the leaders who are engaged with community foundations movements are very interested in the idea of support structures for long term solutions. After many years of practice, they have come to see the missing connections between different parts of the change ecosystem, and they are looking for models that build synergies. A lot of the leaders, both locally and nationally, feel that there is no glue in communities, that we are living in individualistic societies, and that community foundations can build enthusiasm and incentives for an approach based on solidarity and engagement. This is not about heroes, but about helping communities build systemic solutions.